As I reached the conclusion of my last video about instant photography, I realized that the next obvious step was to take a look at a Fuji Instax camera. And luckily enough, one of my close friends happens to own this camera, the Instax Mini 90 Neo Classic. I've been shooting with it for about 2 months now, and I have to say the results are pretty darn good. So yeah, let's get started. And that begins by taking a look at the layout, the features, and the general ergonomics of this camera. As an instant camera, it's really quite simple. Loading your film is very easy, and there's a motor-driven 3-stage focus lens that has its normal focus set between 0.6 to about 3 meters. There's a removable battery so you can swap it out if you need to, but you probably won't because batteries on instant cameras last for ages. I charged this camera once when I first got it, and it's still going strong. It says that the battery is pretty much full after 2 whole months of use. Buttons and switches wise, you have the power switch, 2 shutter releases, then there's a few buttons at the back, beginning with macro mode that allows you to focus between 30 to 60 centimeters. There's an additional 3-step exposure compensation that has a dark option, a light option, or a light plus option. As well as that, there's a self timer and flash control and mode. Within mode, you have quite a few options that begin with party, which essentially just gives you a slightly longer exposure than normal with flash. Kids mode gives you a higher shutter speed, and landscape allows you to focus things that are 3 meters or more away from your camera. There's a double exposure mode too, which is plenty of fun. If you watched my OneStep Plus video, you'll know how much I enjoy double exposures with instant photography. And as well as that, there's a bulb exposure mode. By far the best part about this camera, especially when compared with a OneStep Plus, is that it's all here. There's no app that you have to get on your phone and connect via Bluetooth just to control some settings to get more creative shots. I really like how Fuji have done this. It's very simple and accessible. And considering that it's an instant camera, it's pretty well built. Of course, it's super plastic, fantastic, but they made this grippier kind of plastic, which is sort of nice when you're holding the camera. It fits well, and it's not too awkward a shape. It's quite conventional. It would fit in your pockets if you were using some terrible cargo pants. I mean, I don't know, maybe it fits in normal pants. Let's see. There you go. It fits in my pocket, although I'd never suggest doing that. It's a bit weird, but yeah. The only complaints I have with this camera are the shutter buttons, both of them. This camera doesn't have a half press shutter. If you press it in any way, you've taken a photograph, which is just so counterintuitive when you're used to using literally any other camera.
Is this double exposure?
Yeah. So let's focus. That was 2 pictures. I just find it a bit weird. And on that note, I've been using this camera for 2 months, like I said, and I'm still not sure if this is the right way up or this is the right way up. From the text, this is clearly the right way up, but they've designed it like an old classic rangefinder. And the text here at the top is all in that rangefinder kind of design idea, except not really, because you're meant to use it like this. Why did they put a shutter release here? It's a bit confusing. That's all I'm saying, really. When it comes to the shooting experience and the quality of the film, I have to commend Fuji on what they've done. Across the board, Fuji are just really, really good at making cameras that just work. And as ever, Fuji colors just look wonderful. They've made no effort to make it look retro in any way. In fact, I think they made a point of making it look as modern as possible, which is of great contrast to Polaroid, who seem to be trying to relive their glory days, which is kind of funny when you consider the fact that technically Fuji Instax is about 10 years older than Polaroid Originals. But Polaroid ends up going for a vibe that's much more retro, whereas Fuji are just going for the vibe of the time in which they've made it and they've been making it. They've started making it right at the end of the 90s. And with Fujifilm being an older company with more experience than Polaroid Originals, Instax is a product that actually currently works and is cheaper by a mile when compared to Polaroid. It's no wonder these cameras are found in shops everywhere, really. I mean, honestly, shooting with this camera was almost enough to make me think that I shouldn't have bought the Polaroid OneStep Plus, because by the time I reached my final few shots on this camera, I just felt like I knew the camera and I knew the film. The final 2 images I took were of a friend of mine, and I'm really happy with those photographs. To me, they sort of feel like the culmination of every single photo that I took before that on the camera. And they ended up developing just how I thought they would in my mind before I took the pictures. Which is a point I still haven't even reached with my OneStep Plus, which I bought over a year ago. I've owned this for more than a year. And in 2 months of this camera, I feel like I know it better than this one. Furthermore, something that I didn't mention in my video about the OneStep Plus, which is another win for Fujifilm, is about the longevity of the prints. Images that I took just a few months ago on my Polaroid have already begun to deteriorate, whereas images that I took with the Instax Mini about 5 years ago, they look just like the pictures that I took a few days ago. When it comes to a medium of photography that is very much about the physicality, the longevity of a print is important. But saying all that, well, you see, Instax Mini for me is just, I don't like the shape and size of the images. I'm not really a fan of this small portrait scenario. Never mind all the benefits of Fuji Instax that I just mentioned. I prefer the shape and size of Polaroid. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because Polaroid is so iconic that I have it ingrained in my mind to think that an instant photograph should look like a Polaroid. To me, Instax Mini just feels wrong. And I know that there's Instax Wide and there's Instax Square, but from what I've seen of them so far, they also look wrong to me. And for that, I just don't like them. It's strange, I know, and yeah, I'm not gonna judge Instax Square or Instax Wide until I've actually tried it out for myself, which I hope to do at one point, but hopefully not too soon, because instant film is quite expensive. But yeah, just on the basis of the size and the scale of the images, I'm happy I chose the Polaroid OneStep Plus, although I'd be happy if I had both. And I do like the small size when it comes to sharing the photographs with my friends. It fits in a wallet. You can give it out to a friend as a little gift. It's nice. It definitely is a brilliant system and it's a great camera. I loved it, really. The only reason I wouldn't buy one for me is because I already own this. I do recommend this camera, and I'd recommend this camera over any Polaroid system if you just want to shoot photographs. But if you want that classic Polaroid type look, you need a Polaroid camera, unfortunately. Instax could just make one that was shaped the same, although they probably can't because there's some type of patent thing or something or other. I don't know this stuff, but there probably is something like that, and that's the reality. But hey, if they could, I'd get rid of this camera very quickly. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learnt something, maybe, if anything, that I have some weird opinions when it comes to cameras. I try to make videos like this every single week. I've managed to do weekly videos once or twice over the past several years, but hey, if you like videos about cameras or video making and you're new here, smash that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and if you've been here for a while, smash it again. No, that would unsubscribe you. Stay subscribed if you're a regular viewer. Like this video, do everything. Wow, I think this is my newest low for an outro. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week, hopefully. Definitely, I'll be here. You come back. See ya.